Hi Flosstube, this is Barbara John, Stitching with Grammy, and I am so glad that you're here. Welcome to episode number 12 of my Flosstube, which is a channel about counted cross stitch. And I had just looked back, today is June 8th, 2022, and I have not done a Flosstube since April 4th. You know, every time I say, oh, I'm going to do it in 2 weeks, I'm going to get better. It's been 2 months and I haven't been here. So I am going to get right into it because last time my video was 2.5 hours. People were telling me I was making full-length movies. And I don't want to take up all your time. A lot of people just stitch away and let the floss tubes play. But that's a long time and I don't want to take up 2.5 hours. So let's get into it. My subscriber count keeps going up. I think a lot of it has to do with my girl Elaine. Hi Elaine from Annabella's. We are in the process of doing some more planning of retreats. There's a lot of stuff going on. Please, if you came some other way and not from Elaine, go check out her website. We've got retreats coming up. We're going to get together in August to talk about and put some final details on the trip that we're going to take in November for everything autumn, all things autumn with Annabella's in Asheville, North Carolina. And I'm so excited. So it's closer than we think. We've got a lot of ends to tie up. So if you're coming over from Elaine's Annabella's Flosstube, thank you. I appreciate it. Another place that you might have come from recently is my two girls, two needles pulling thread. Shout out to Missy and Kathy. I told both of them that when I watch their floss tubes, I feel like I'm sitting around their table with them, just with stitchy friends and stitching and hanging out and laughing and talking. And I'm so excited because they're going to STITCHCON Weekend B. STITCHCON Weekend B. I'm going to be at Weekend B and I get to meet them in person. And I said to Missy, I said, hey, I'm a hugger, so just be prepared. I'm a hugger. So it'll be really great to meet them in person and hang out at a stitchy table for real. If you came over from their channel, welcome, and I hope you like what you see. Another thing that somebody made a comment, I don't know if it was in one of my floss tubes or somebody else's that I read, and I read somebody ask, if people are always asking you to subscribe, be a subscriber. And somebody asked, how much does it cost? Well, there are things that you subscribe to that do cost money, but subscribing to my floss tube or anybody else's floss tube will not cost you a dime. It's free to subscribe. Now, let me qualify that because all the stuff I'm going to show you and all the stuff that my friends show me on their floss tubes, it costs me a lot of money because they enable me to go and get all this good stuff. I'm not telling you have to. I'm encouraging you. I'm showing you what I love. But if you want to go buy it, I'm not making you. So please, if you like what you see, even though I babble on and talk a lot, and there's kind of long and there's like months between. If you like what you see, if you enjoy the fact that in every single episode I give away project bags, please hit that subscribe button below. Give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so that in 2 months when I do another one or give you an update about a retreat coming up that I'm doing with Elaine from Annabella's, we can get this a more regular and you will get notified if you hit that bell. You got to subscribe, and hit that bell. So, housekeeping done. Over the past 2 months, a lot of stuff is happening. A coworker of mine, I told you guys from jump, my job is stressful. I don't care for it, but I get to work from home permanently, so I don't really want to job hop. I work for the state of Michigan. I'm in IT finance, very stressful. We're gearing up for the next fiscal year. And one of my coworkers had a heart attack, so she kind of basically resigned. So more work is being put on my desk, and we are getting another new person. And long story short, work has taken a lot of demanding from me, but I got my Fridays off again. So I'll be working 4/10s again. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be my time for stitching and sewing and making project bags and doing more Flosstube. So with that being said, I don't know if you guys follow in my Instagram, stitching_with_Grammy. My sewing machine broke and I've been making project bags and I had a lot of orders. Well, I had to get a new one. And I got a new one. I got a new Juki, and I'm going to insert a picture here. Her name is JoJo, because, you know, you got to name your machine. So her name is JoJo. And while I wasn't able to sew, and I hadn't got the Juki yet, JoJo, I decided that I would do a lot more stitching. And guess what? We're going to talk about FFOs. Since I haven't been here for 2 months, one thing I did, excuse my reach, is I went to the Stitching with the Housewives at Tomorrow's Heirloom, a little retreat. Chantel, 141 Design Company. Chantel, hi girl. She came with me and we had a wonderful weekend. Went and spent the weekend with Priscilla and Chelsea down near Chicago. And this is my finish. Let's go ride a bike. So I got an FFO. We got the pattern from them ahead of time, and we stitched it up and took it, and then they gave us all the finishing supplies, and we finished it while we were there. Lots of fun. Learned some more tips and tricks from our girl Priscilla and Chelsea, and it's really cute, and I stuck some pretty flowers in there just to give it a little spring daisies. But that's Let's Go Ride a Bike. This pattern, this pattern right now, you can get it as a kit. I don't think the finishing stuff is with it, but the floss and the fabric and the pattern by calling Tomorrow's Heirlooms. So it will be in their shop exclusively for a year. So if you want the paper chart, give them a call and they'll send it to you. They will be happy to ship it to you. So this is Let's Go Ride a Bike by Stitching with the Housewives. Lots of fun. We had a nice time hanging out in the lobby with some girls afterwards, stitching away. Had a nice time. That seems like so long ago. It's so long ago. So I still wanted to do some stitching. So I just kind of got busy. And then when I got the Juki, I had to practice sewing on it. So I did some finishes. So I have this little, really tiny little dough bowl. So I thought I would show you my three little finished pillows. They're so cute. Okay, the first one is called Redbird Sampler from Heart and Hand, and I believe this was the winter cross stitch camp, and you had to do something that was all one color. And this was the project I did, so I got the stitching done. So I decided that I was gonna put some fabric on. There's a little bit of rickrack in that I sewed in there. The backs, I haven't fully put the felt on the back, so the backs are kind of messy. And then I sewed some chenille yarn that I got at Joann's around the edges, and I thought it looked pretty cute. So I've got some pillows for my little bowl. So that's the first one I finished. And then the other one, I had finished stitching this a while ago. It's the Stitching Bee. I think I finished it when I did March Madness, which is the same as my MAYNIA, which we'll talk about. So I got this one done. And so here's the back of it. It's, again, I don't have the felt on it yet, so you can see where I whip stitched it. But here's my little bees. And I use a little fabric that looks like honeycombs. And there's the little bees. And my little corners are pointy. I was going to put some trim around this, but I thought, nope, this one I'm just going to leave. I did the rickrack on the middle and just sewed it up in the back. So that's the second one. The third one, while I was down there stitching, and I forget what I was stitching on when I was at the Tomorrow's Heirlooms retreat. I forget what it was I was stitching on, what I was working on, but I was not having luck. The Q-snap that I had wasn't keeping it tight, so I started stitching it in hand. And I thought, well, you know what? This is kind of nice. I'm just gonna, oh, I think I know what it was. I think it was, yeah, it was my WIPGO project. I'll show you in a minute. But so when I came home, I thought, well, I want to do a whole project in hand. So this is a 28 count. I think it's mushroom or wheat Lugana. And I said, I'm just going to stitch this in a whole entire project in hand. Because normally I stitch with a hoop or a Q-snap. So this was a little pattern they had there at Tomorrow's Heirlooms that I bought. And it's the Coffee Bird by Heart and Hand. Because you know me and coffee. Right, Kathy? Coffee. And I stitched this all in hand. It turned out so cute. So then I put some little red checked fabric on it and little red rickrack. And I sewed some rickrack around the edges by hand. Closed the back up. Kind of messy, but I'm going to put some felt over it. But there you go. It's another coffee finish. Just fun little thing to do because I wanted to do something a little bit different. So those are my FFOs. Another finish. I have a finish too. Can you believe it? Let me set these back here out of the way. I decided, and you'll see, I'll tell you about where this was in my March Madness. It was another project I didn't really feel like doing. And so I thought, I'm going to pick up a whip that's almost done. Let me just get something done that's a whip. So I picked up something that I started in the fall. It's fall, y'all. And this is by Stitching with the Housewives. And here it is. Just the stitching is done. It's not fully finished. I'm probably going to put this on, get some of the orange Chelsea's checks and Priscilla's plaids and put it on, like I have a bunch of pumpkin pattern pieces, you know, fold it down and put it on something small like that. So that's a fully finish. I haven't had a fully finish in a while. Okay, so I'm not going to go through my book of days, my calendar. You don't have to go purchase the book of days. Remember, you can use any kind of calendar at all as long as it has a month spread. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every single thing I stitched from April 4th till now because, like I said, you don't want a 2.5 hour movie, right? Full feature, no. So I'm just going to show you April. I'm going to show you my WIPGO. Let's just jump into WIPGO right now. April's WIPGO calls. And let me show you. Here's my WIPGO. After this month, when I get number 9 done, I'll have a crossway. Bingo! A crossway. See it? Okay, so for the month of April, numbers 10 and 7 were called. And number 10 was Brick House Sampler by Brenda Gervais. And this is in my Steel City Stitchers Retreat bag that I made for the Steel City Stitchers Retreat. And by the way, my girl Kara, Crafty Kara, with her lovely Cricut machine, did these decals for me. And while we were, you know, messing around and having her make me some, guess what? I realized I have 4 sets left. Anyone who purchased one from me from the retreat has already gotten theirs. I have 4 sets left. If anyone who was at the retreat and I'm going to check. If I don't remember you being there, if I didn't remember seeing you there, I'll check with the girls from the Steel City Stitchers. But if anyone who attended the 2022 retreat wants a project bag like this, let me know, because I still have 4 sets of decals left. And I don't need to be hanging on to 4 sets of decals. So if anyone was at the retreat and missed one of these project bags to remember it, let me know. I've got 4 sets left. Okay? All right. So my number 10 was the Brick House Sampler by Brenda Gervais. And this is a stitch along during March Madness. The Happy Little Stitch Shop, Angela and our crew of Happy Little Stitchers did a sampler madness, and this was the one that won. She makes a list, puts them in brackets, and we all vote on which samplers we like. This one won not this March, but the previous March. So everybody has been stitching on this. Well, this is as far as I've gotten. I love the colors. It's so beautiful. So I think this month I really got a lot done for this being in WIPGO. I really like it. This is the Day by Plum Street Samplers, the real pretty one with the pink house and the stack of goats and a goat flying, real pink. This is the day the Lord has made. That is the sampler that won for this year's March Madness, and we're going to start that in September. And so, Angela, if you're watching, I don't think she watches Flosstube, but she wanted, you know, people to help motivate her to get hers done by September before the new one starts. So, even though this was already called on my WIPGO, I really want to get this done before September so that I don't have 2 going. Let's be real, I already have about 100 WIPs. Maybe not so many, but I want to get this done so I can start that other project with the Happy Little Stitchers. And that I need to show you guys later. Okay, so my other WIPGO piece, and this is the one that I couldn't get tight, so this is the one I was stitching in hand. And it's being stitched on a, where'd it go? I believe it's a 32 count, which I don't usually do 32 count. It's 32 count Confederate Gray. And this is Blackbird Samplers, Strawberry Fields Forever. And this was number 7, yes, on my WIPGO for April. So this is the one I took with me down to the retreat that I was stitching on. And I was able to get a lot done. And I started on the house. I got a lot of the border done. It's so pretty. And this is the called for colors on the called for fabric, 32 count, Confederate Gray. Okay, so that was April with March Madness. But my book of days, it kind of just drops off about here. So I got just past the 17th and then nothing. Nothing until I went camping. For the weekend, I took something with me, and I have a Memorial Day start. But I got busy once I got my Juki then, focusing on sewing project bags that I owed to people. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram, I sent out a stack of stuff. Everybody who I have a paid order for is out the door. There are some people who have emailed me on stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com asking about a project bag, and I'll give them options, and I will tell them the cost or whatever, get their address to include shipping, and then I never hear back from them. So those I didn't count in my count, but I put out all the project bags that I had paid orders for. If you're interested, email me. I am a project bag vendor for the Stitching with the Housewives, Stitch Etc. Christmas in July retreat in Indianapolis for session number 1. I I'm going to be focusing after STITCHCON. That's going to be my focus, is making project bags for that retreat. Because I am a project bag vendor, I don't want to show up with just a few. I want to make sure that I have lots. And I'm maybe staying through that week in the hotel, hanging out with Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Through Friday. So if you're in session 2, let me know. And I might have something for you guys as well in session 2. But I'm so excited. I will have lots of project bags with me when I go to STITCHCON. I can't sell them in the convention center, but I will have a lot of project bags with me when I go to STITCHCON. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Anyway, so I'm going to get into my whips that I worked on. I'm not going to go through all of April because that's what I worked on most of the time. And the piece for the retreat, which was the Let's Go Ride a Bike. So that's pretty much April, what I worked on. So let's go through my May, which you saw them in March in my last one, because I did the March Madness the same as my Mania. So if you bear with me, I'm going to slide this chair over. And I got all of them stacked up in this cute little basket. Isn't that cute? My little project bags fit right in there. It was at Walmart. They're Pioneer Woman. So I thought those were really cute. So I'm just going to whip through these really quick. This is my Mania. This was Oh Joyous Day, was on May 1st. And I started this a year ago on Mania. So all of these that you're going to see, unless I finished that piece, are all going to be ones I started last year, 2021 Mania, unless otherwise. I tell you otherwise. But this is my progress now on Oh Joyous Day. I got the pear and some more leaves done. And this is stitched on, I believe the called for colors, I know for sure. And this is, yes, 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. This is the called for fabric. And I have it in a Goose project bag that I got from my girl, Jennifer. Hi, girlfriend. She had a bunch of stuff that she was giving away when we were at the Steel City Stitchers Retreat. And I got a couple of Goose project bags from her because I'd never had them, and I think they're really cool. So that is in a Goose project bag. Hopefully this is also on my WIPGO chart. So this may come back. You may see this again. This is square number 1 on my WIPGO chart. So you may see it again. So I'm going to keep these in the same order so I can find them later. Okay, 'Tis the Season was my next project. This is done on a 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus, and I'm using the called for silks. And look at me, I have it all written down on a little card in the project bag. Because they're silks, I am keeping them in a little bag that I got at Hobby Lobby just to keep them so they don't get all fuzzy. And this is also being held in another beautiful Goose bag that I got from Jennifer Gorski. And they're so cool. She has a different way that she's keeping all of her projects. So she was kind of like getting rid of a lot of her stuff, project bags. So anyway, you guys have probably seen this project numerous times. Blackbird Designs, 'Tis the Season. And this is the one that I didn't like the white, so I reached out to Stephanie at Keepsakes. And she told me exactly which to get. And I don't think I got a whole lot more done on this. I haven't yet. I just worked on the leaf down there. I think I just worked on this for this time, but I haven't pulled out all all the white that you can't see, I haven't pulled it out yet. So this also, I believe, is on my WIPGO board. I'm looking. It's not, but it should be because I want to get it done. So I might do some adjusting on my WIPGO board because I really want to get this done. There's not that much left. The bird is done. And now that I have the white that's going to show up on this better, I really want to get going on it because it's so cute. I want to get it done so I can hang it up at Christmas. So that's the plan, is to put that somewhere on a WIPGO square that has not been called yet. And I think I know, just glancing at this, what I'm going to take off, because it's something that I don't really want to stitch as quickly as I want to stitch this one. Okay. And what did I do with it? Okay, it's hiding. This was the project that I kind of want to, like, not do, because where did it go? Because it's not really calling to me. I did work on it. It's called Candy Cane Wishes. Here it is right here. It was in the wrong spot. This is the one that I might pull off my WIPGO. It is still going to stay on my Mania and March Madness. But it's Brenda Gervais, Candy Cane Wishes. Really, I don't have much left of this. So it's something I could probably pick up really quick rather than do it on a whole WIPGO. But this is how much I have. And this is the most stitching that is on a little snowman. So that's where I am right now. Okay, so that is Candy Cane Wishes. That was on the 3rd of Oh, you know what? I just went totally out of order. Excuse me. I just went totally out of order. I was looking at the wrong number 3. Okay, so first it was Oh Joyous Day, 'Tis the Season. Number 3, I did have these in the right order. I was looking at the number 3 on the WIPGO. While when I first got my Juki, I can't just sit on and start stitching customer orders for project bags. I need to get familiar with JoJo. Her and I have to come to a meeting of the minds, and, you know, I have to get to know her. So I pulled out my Lori Holtz Zippy bags and Zippy zippers. It's the bag. Here's the front of one of them. And remember, I told you, I showed you the panels, but I said I was going to do them my way. If you look at the way Lori Holt, her tutorial, nothing against Lori Holt, the woman is a genius. But on the inside of her project bags, the seam shows. And you zigzag around it, and so you see the seam. But I wanted to do it like I do my project bags, so they're fully enclosed. So I did it like the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial that she has on fabric project bags. I use that method, but the pieces of Lori Holtz. And then I have the inside fabric. I picked some of the inside fabrics from my Lori Holtz stash. So anyway, this, and I put a little zigzag rickrack trim on it. This didn't come with there, and I forgot to put the little tabs on. But I use the zippers that have a double edge zipper. She has two zipper pulls on her zippies. Anyway, this is Lori Holtz Stitchy Stars. And I had stitched this before, and I had the wrong size fabric, and I just wanted to redo it on the right size fabric so I could put it on a board that I got from Stitch Etc. Kim and Ashley of Stitch Etc. So I restarted this, and I didn't get very far on it, but this is Lori Holt Stitchy Stars. And this is a light ash 28 count Lugana is what I'm stitching it on now. And then I got the long board that's blue from Stitch Etc. that's going to look really cute when I put it on. So that is on the 3rd of May. Next one, going right along here, is in the very first project bag I ever bought. And this is Crafty MJC. First project bag I ever bought when I got back into stitching a year ago in November. So here is my progress on Plum Street Samplers Blackberry House. I love it. I went and got that paint color like Elizabeth Ann can stitch when she did hers. And I'm not going to do it in the same frame, but I went and got the 10 by 13. It's an odd size. But I did go and get that from Hobby Lobby. And I get a thread hanging. So just ignore the thread hanging, but I got a little bit more on that. Started to go down and get some of the other colors in there so I could start getting colors. I'm using the called for colors. And this is a 40 count mallow by, I got it on 123 Stitch. It's called 40 count mallow, M-A-L-L-O-W, and I love stitching on it. It's a very neutral 40 count, and it's very easy to see the holes. It's not like a linen that has all the slubs on it, and it's uneven. It's like an even weave. It's so good. Try it. It's so good. I love it. So there's that. Now, the one on the 5th, I started this in March Madness. I had finished the project in March, so I had to start something new in May on the 5th. That's the WIPGO call for last month, or the month of May. So I'll show you that in a minute. So the next is Brenda Gervais April Wordplay. And again, it's in another Lori Holt zippy bag. And I have the inside. I made it so you can't see the seams, just like I do the other bags that I make with the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial. Anyway, this is the called for colors, and I put also a little hook in here so I can hook my floss ring on it when I don't have a flannel floss friend. But this is what I'm doing is the April Wordplay. I'm using most of the called for colors, but I wanted those daffodils to be a little bit more yellow. So I got the bunny and some birds done and some daffodils. Isn't that so cute? So I got a lot of more work to do on those, and I do have 6 of the months, as I showed you. I think I'm doing this on the called for. No, I'm not. That's 35 count Abecedarian. I don't even know what that fabric is. I think this is a 40 count Antique Lace by Seraphim, I think. Don't quote me, but I think that's what it is. Of course, I don't have a tag in here, but I'm pretty sure that's what that was. I got it at the Steel City Stitchers Retreat from Janine from the Crafty You. So there's that one. Okay, so the next one is the Prairie Schooler Bees, where there are bees, and that is a June WIPGO, so you'll see that in a minute. The next one is Buffalo Plaid, Buffalo Plaid Spring. This pattern I do believe is available in their Etsy shop right now, and I think you might be able to get the PDF download, but I got it from this magazine, and this is where I started it last year. But at that time, I'm like, I can't stitch on black. I'm going to start it on a different color. Psh, that went out the window when I started stitching other things from Priscilla and Chelsea. So I restarted it in March Madness. And this is how far I am right now on 28 count Monaco that I dye. So I dyed 28 count Monaco. That's what I did on the Let's Go Ride a Bike. And that's what I stitch all of their patterns on. It's fall, y'all. That's everything from Stitching with the Housewives. I go to Michael's, buy the tube of 28 count Monaco. When I do the black, I use this RIT dye for synthetics, and the color is graphite. Okay, it's a cotton, it's 100% cotton fabric, but I found that if you follow the directions on the back of this bottle and you use the synthetic dye, it gets darker. Yes, your fabric is gonna shrink, but it gets a little tighter and it's not so stiff, it's soft. I may do a tutorial the next time I dye fabric. I may do film a tutorial on how I do it, because everybody keeps asking me, oh, how'd you do that? And I'll show you in a little bit what I did for another one of their projects. So, that was on day 8. Day 9 is the Candy Cane Wishes, like I showed you earlier. Okay, so this is a project bag I made with Love Notes by Corey Yoder, I believe is the designer. This is quilted project bag. See the little quilting here. This fabric line is so beautiful. I just love it. So this is Knee High by the 4th of July. And this is on a 20, I think this is the 32 count Queen Anne lace Jobelin, because it looks like clouds. And this, it doesn't show it as much, the modeling. You can't really see it in this lighting. Let me see if I can, well, yeah, you can see it a little bit down here. But up here, it really looks like it's in the clouds. But I've got the roof and I've got part of that quilted star up at the top. But this is the one that I'm going to be doing. Here's the inside of this bag. And I have a hook in here as well. And then you can see where it's quilted. And this is Love Notes by Corey Yoder, I believe. This is, in case you're new here and you haven't seen, this is one of my flannel floss friends. About a year ago, the gal came out with the cross-stitch clutch. It's a little bit smaller this way, and her zipper pouch is on the outside. Well, I thought that if you're stitching and you've got this open and you want to get a different color, you got to turn it upside down. So I put my little pouch on the inside. So this is what I call a flannel floss friend. This is made out of flannel. So this is where your threads can stick, and then you can stick as you're working on your project, you can just fold it up and away you go. It snaps together and it's coordinating fabric with, this is all part of the same fabric line. So this is the project that I'm going to frame with my son and my 4-year-old at the time granddaughter, standing in the cornfields of Michigan on the 4th of July in the year 2015, and my son is 6'4". See how tall the corn is? It's only supposed to be knee-high on the 4th of July, but look how tall it was. That was a good year for corn in Michigan. Just saying. So anyway, I keep this in my flannel floss friend pouch, so I know I have this picture so to enjoy while I'm stitching, and know that I'm going to frame this together. So that's that project. Okay, so then the next day, I'm trying to go as quickly as I can. This is another one that was in this magazine, and it's the Seasons of the Heart by the Blue Flower. It's this little one right here. Isn't that cute? This was a good magazine. This one had a lot of really cool really cool projects in it. I think there's one in there with the Easter Bunny by Teresa Kogut as well. And I got the heart almost done. Oh, and I got some thread that's caught in my zipper now. Anyway, I got the heart almost done so I can start adding all the little cute bunnies and flowers. And this is also stitched with the called for colors on a 40 count mallow. You guys, I stopped saying you guys. You stitchy friends. Stitchy friends, there we go. I got the thread out. Okay, next. It's fall, y'all. I finished that. I really didn't get the Praise God Spring Doxology. I didn't do that. I've shown you that before. I didn't get it done. The next one, I love this one. This one is in a Starbucks project bag that I made, and I put a hook in it to hook my floss. Or if you use a flannel floss friend or another kind of thread keeper, you can hook your scissors on there so that your scissors won't get lost and poke a hole in your vinyl or your fabric project bag. So anyway, that's another bag that I made that I may or may not have with me at STITCHCON. So this is where I am on this project. I forgot to show you what it is. It's I Belong to the Cross Stitch Nation. So I got a long way to go on that. And I don't know if you notice. No offense to the designer. I love the pattern. But to me, and I'm trying to get this so it's not blurry. But if you see the to and the, they look like F's. So when I stitched mine, that little stitch that's kind of off the side, I just left it off. I made my T look like a T. I made my T look like a T. So anyway, that's I Belong to the Cross Stitch Nation. And I want to get that one done because I love it. And I want to put it up in my craft room on the wall. I also have the Flosstube Friends one that, hey, Missy and Kathy, you guys want to stitch that with me and get a group of us Flosstube friends to pick a person and do it? I'm bringing it to STITCHCON. How's that? Okay, so that was on the, where are we at? Cross Stitch Nation. Okay, the next one was, I restarted this on a piece of Seraphim Antique Lace. And this is Plum Street Samplers Liberties Welcome. And I was really having a hard time. Remember, I did it before on a white, but I just didn't like the coverage and I didn't want to do two okay, so I restarted it. I think it goes this way. On 40 count antique lace, and that's as far as I got because I'm still frustrated. One strand is not enough. 2 strands is too much. However, keep that thought in mind because I have a solution that a friend shared with me, and I will share that with you because it's brilliant. I'll share it to you in a minute, okay? All right, so the next one, this is another one that is patriotic in nature, and at the time when I was stitching it, remember I had it on a white, and I just didn't think the white was going to show up, so I ended up switching it up. And I took the tag, oh no, it's right here. This is on a 40 count Nocturne by Picture This Plus. And I am stitching this on this blue fabric. I think it goes this way. Nope, it goes this way. So it's kind of like going to be a blue kind of, you know, stormy sky, and this beautiful white angel's going to pop out of this blue stormy sky. So I'm back to liking this. So we'll see what happens. Okay, the next one was a new start, because I think the month before I got the bee done, the little tiny bee that I made the pillow. So I started something really quick thinking, okay, let me get something done real quick. This will take just 2 minutes. Hands-on design, handwork. It's just a little pin cushion. No big deal. This is all I got done. So one of the little houses, I still got a few more to go. Who knows when I'll get back to that. So a lot of these other ones, I was sewing for the rest of the month until I went camping. Okay. At the very beginning of the month, I started this project because I wanted something patriotic to start the month out. So I started this, and like I said, I dye my own black. So I started it on a black 28 count Monaco that I dyed with that synthetic dye, right? Excuse me. Well, I thought, ooh, what if I could do this? Same thing, same pattern, but on a navy blue. Can you see the difference? I used same method, but I used synthetic dyes, midnight navy. Ooh. So I wanted to start this project again on a navy blue. So I did. This navy, you can see this is kind of popping, right? Can you tell it's navy blue? So I decided, I stuck 2 or 3 pieces in the dark and just let them dye. So I've got 3 pieces, this one and these 2 that are navy. So I thought all the Priscilla and Chelsea's Patriotic stitches patterns they have, I'm going to get them all and I'm going to stitch them all. Well, one of them I dunked in just for a little while to see if I could just get a lighter blue. Look at this one. It's so pretty. And this one I didn't care. Normally the black, when I do it dark like that, I don't want any modeling at all. I want it solid. But this one, you could tell, has a little bit. This looks like an old pair of jeans. I love it. And it's using that synthetic dye 28 count Monaco. I love it. So anyway, I pulled out some of the other Patriotic patterns that I have to go along with this, Stitching with the Housewives. And I took them all camping with me when I went on Memorial Weekend. This is really all I got done because, let's be honest, I was camping and I was spending time with my granddaughters and my oldest son. So I got this one. Then I'm going to flash a pattern that was really quick that we got as a freebie in our little goodie bag from Priscilla and Chelsea at the Tomorrow Heirloom Retreat. And it says red, white, and blue. It's really cute. So there's that. And then I bought the jar, a wooden jar that this is going to get mounted on. So I thought, well, that would be cute. I'm going to do that on the navy blue as well. And I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do these all on the navy blue. And this was a meet and greet that Priscilla and Chelsea had at Tomorrow's Heirlooms a year ago. And this was their exclusive pattern that was only available through Tomorrow's Heirlooms for a year. But now you can get this on their Etsy shop. You can, I believe you can get this as a PDF now. So don't quote me, but I think you can. So anyway, that's my navy blue and my adventures in dyeing. Now, I found these cute little stars. And there's a white one. the board's white. It's right there in my little Ray Dunn 4th of July and Memorial Day decor. But see these little stars? I'm going to use that blue fabric, maybe the light blue if this will show up. And I'm going to take this off of my, it's just clipped on here with magnets because I don't have the pattern here with me. Can you see my little fringes for my handlebars? I forgot to show you guys that. It's so cute. Anyway, I'm going to take either this basket with the flag and the flowers or this little jar. I'm going to stitch it on this lighter color fabric or maybe the dark one or the other. And then I'm going to mount them on this. It's going to be so cute. So that's a little bit of plans mixed within my updated March Mania. Okay, so let's get back to Mania before I get sidetracked. Oh, one more thing. I don't want to go to haul because you'll miss it. This, when I get this stitched and get it done, I found this frame for $3 at Goodwill. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to frame this in here. Let me put my stitching up there. I'm going to frame this in there. I wish you could see the color, but you can't see the color of that navy blue. It still looks black, but it's not black, I promise you. It's not. It's so cute. So anyway, that's the frame. I'm going to put that in. Okay, so that takes us into Memorial Day. And if you guys came over from Two Needles Pulling Threads, Missy and Kathy, you will know that I had a Memorial Day start. Okay? Here's the project bag that I made for my project. Beautiful little trucks. And then I thought, okay, well, I want to put a cute little, because there's lots of floss for this project. So I made a cute little notions pouch. And I've got all my called for weeks dye works. Lots of floss. Want to keep them nice. Taking it to STITCHCON. So it's in this beautiful little bag. Keep them all nice and safe in this bigger project bag. So I'm stitching this on a 36 count Oaken. And I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram. I'm really having a problem again with the coverage. 2 is too much. 1 is not enough on 36 count. And I will link below who the gal was on Instagram. But I put it out there, showed a picture, and she had a brilliant idea. Her idea is you do 1 strand on 36 count. You do a full cross like this. And then your top leg, you do a second one. So it won't be as thick as two strands twice. And it'll give it a little, you guys, look at this. I'm sorry, I said you guys again. Okay, so that is with 2 strands. It is, my stitches look yucky. I don't like it. This is with 2 strands. But this is with 1 strand and the top leg is crossed twice. Brilliant! Brilliant! So, you know that Liberties welcome that I still have? 2 is too much. 1's not. I'm going to do this on that and I'm going to love it. I promise you. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so try that out. Let me know what you think. If you've ever done that before, give me a thumbs up. Share your experience down in the comments. Help us out so we can figure out some other tips and tricks. I don't want to just settle. I was going to go and buy another piece of 40 or 46 count Oaken by Pitch of This Plus, but as you guys know, Pitch of This Plus is very hard to get right now. Nobody has it. A lot of people don't even have 40 count because of supply issues. They don't have the base fabric to dye. So I didn't want to not use this that I have. I'm going to use it now, and I love how it's beautiful. So, this is my One Nation, Under God, parentheses, Liberty by Twin Peak Primitive. Hashtag One Nation TPP Sal. You got plenty of time. As Missy said in her Flosstube, and I said, it's a start along. And it's not like we didn't all have to start it that day. If you have it in your whips, go pick it up and stitch along and just use the hashtag, show your progress. The girls from Twin Peak Primitive would love it. They're going to follow that and watch us stitching it along. So it's going to take a while. It's a big one, and I've got some other big ones I'm starting. So, hashtag One Nation TPP Sal. Missy, get busy, girlfriend. Or I'll watch you start it at STITCHCON. How's that? Okay? So, it's going to be so much fun. Join us when you can. And let us know your progress. So, that was May. Okay, so, like I said, here's my count of my WIPGO. I did not get all these days. April, I got all my days of the 2 that were called. My WIPGO goals on all my projects are 10 days. To me, a day might not be a full 8-hour day, like 8 hours of work. A day to me is if I put my hands on it and at least do one strand, at least something. So I'm doing something on this for 10 days. Okay? Didn't do that in March. So on my WIPGO board, you can see Christmas rules, and I'll show you what I did. Let me show you. Not March, May. What am I talking about? Okay. So one of the calls that month, May was 13, which my 13 is a free spot, so there's nothing there. 14, which was jingles, which is what I started back on the 5th day of MAYNIA. This was this little jingles, and I'm doing it so all of these are in one. Okay, so that's the first one, and this is how far I got. I think I started this in March because I had a free spot. So this is my MAYNIA that I started in March Madness. So I'm planning on doing this all on one. And this again is the 40 count mallow, but I got from 123 Stitch. So, and that's Deck the Halls is the first one. Now, the other number that was called in May was number 8, which is my Christmas rules number 1. Now, I started this, but if you remember, I started it here. I got that much done, but realized I didn't leave enough room at the bottom. I wasn't going to have enough room to do the whole thing. And I want to stitch the whole thing. So I restarted that on a different fabric. So that's my Christmas rules number 2. I didn't want to do that. So I decided I'm going to keep doing it. I love this fabric that it's on. I forget what it is. I think it was a 46 count. Or maybe a 40 count colonial parchment by Fabrics by Stephanie. I believe that's what it is. So I'm going to make little pillows for my little dough bowl of all these little sections on the Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Okay, so that first one I already had done. And so this is what I worked on. And that's how far I got on my May WIPGO. And you know, it's May. I'm not really into Christmas. Both of my picks happen to be Christmas. Christmas rules, and you know, the jingles is Christmas. I wasn't into it. So when I get back into Christmas, like Christmas in July maybe, I may pick these back out. I've got a few more days on each one so that I can clear those off. And so then in June, because I just started that on Memorial Day, I changed and put number 16 is my One Nation. So I'm going to get a lot more work in that now that I love how to stitch it with doubling the top leg only with one strand. And the other one that was called is the one I told you I would show you in a little while. Where Are the Bees by Prairie Schooler. And what did oh. This is in another project bag that I made with the Elizabeth Ankin stitch. Isn't this cute? And here's the inside. The honeycomb on the hook. The bee fabric on the inside. A flannel floss friend. And look at the fabric, the flannel. They're little bees. And it's flannel. It's so cute. So cute. So, I've restarted this a few times over and over and over. And I decided that, you know what? It's a Prairie Schooler. You don't change Prairie Schooler. So I pulled everything out. I got a 28 count white Monaco out of the tube, and I got the called for floss on the pattern, and I restarted it, and look at where it is. As you can see right there, not only was counting hard for me that day, but so was spelling. Not spelling, but paying attention to what I was spelling. I did the where. And then I just said R. I said, where are? Oh, yeah, it's going to be R. But it's not where are the bees. It's where there are bees. So I had to rip out the word R. And now I got to restitch the there. Where there are bees, there is honey. So there's that. I love it. This is my WIPGO for the month of June. And I'm really liking it. So there's that. Now, what else? One Nation and Where There Are Bees are my two WIPGOs. Okay, so I've already worked 2 days on my One Nation. So I got 2 days marked off already for my June. Okay, but the other stitching I can't show you. And I showed it last year, but I don't want to show it this year. It's my smalls exchange for STITCHCON because I'm a floss tuber and I just took a picture of it. Now more people watch me and they might watch what I put up on the tape. I don't want to show you what I'm making. It's going to be a surprise because there are a lot of you that are going to go to B and I don't want to spoil the surprise. But I love it. And I think one person knows what I'm stitching and I've swore her to secrecy. So there we go. So that's my WIPGO. I don't think I have any other whips that I'm going to show you right now. Haven't I showed you enough? I think so. Oh, the other thing I'm working on in June. As you know, good old Sherry, the Colorado Stitcher, Colorado Cross Stitcher, opened up a shop in the, she had the Loopy U, which was a yarn shop, but now she's opened a cross stitch store in the back of that. And I'm putting my needle away. Excuse me just a second. Okay, I'm going to talk about my girls, Missy and Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread. I'm going to talk about them again because I told them both that I feel like when they do their floss tube, that we're all just sitting around the table having a good old time and we're stitchy friends. And Kathy really is into coffee. They both have Starbucks or whatever coffee that they're drinking. So now so do I. So that's what I drink all day during, I have hot coffee, a pot of coffee in the morning. And then by the afternoon, I've switched to iced coffee. When I was at, and I'm rambling all over the place. When I was at the Steel City Stitchers retreat with my girl Jen, we went and did a little loop and did all the Ray Dunn hunting. So we stopped at Home Goods and TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Well, she found, because I brought my coffee pot, that's a Keurig, that has the Keurig, you know, the little K-cups, plus it has a full pot. I bring my own coffee beans, a grinder, I bring my syrups, and I bring my, you know, heavy whipping cream to put in it, whatever. She found the perfect cup for me. So, Kathy, this is for you. I'm going to bring this cup to drink out of. This is my coffee snob. This is the mug I'm going to use while we're at StitchCon in the room. So, somebody posted on Weekend A that they didn't know where they were going to get coffee, so they were going to bring their Keurig. They were asking if the hotel had a Keurig, and we were talking about how it was a bunch of soccer dads that drank all the coffee and didn't tell everybody that it was gone. And so I started taking my own coffee pot with me to retreats. So I'm going to be bringing my coffee pot. And so that was the big talk of the chat in there, bringing my beans and grinder and all that. So that being said, you and Missy were talking about something you wanted me to stitch while we're there. Well, guess what, girlfriend? I got something I want you to stitch on, okay? And it is in my project bag that looks familiar. Mine is, I have a cup that I think this came from Katie the Naptime Stitcher. And it's a bigger, like a latte cup from, you know, to-go cup. Also with my angel charm. But this is Heartstring Sampler Coffee Quaker. Okay, this is how far I am on this project. So I'm going to bring this to StitchCon with me, and I've changed up some of the colors, so here's my list. But I'm going to have you stitch a motif for me. Okay? While I stitch on yours, I want you to stitch on mine. And I'll let you pick whichever one you want. Sound like a plan? All right, so that's where I am. Coffee Quaker, Heartstring Samplery, and it is also going to be in my little matching project bag that now Kathy has one that matches. Okay, so this is coming to StitchCon as well. So I was talking about cross stitch camp, right? Sherry, the Colorado Stitcher, she opened up, you know, and I did this last year. Last summer, you pick a project. She has 3 different months during the summer that you work on it. Each one has a different category. Somebody that inspired you, someone who, or some designer you've never stitched before, a thread or a floss, or a fabric you've never used before. Those were the last year's theme. The winter theme was the one that was all one color. That was winter cross stitch camp. Well, now we started summer cross stitch camp again. And this time for June, it's a holiday. So you have to follow the guidelines that Sherry puts out. And you have to, on the first of the month, show a picture of your fabric, your floss, and your pattern. And stitch it. You can't start it till the first, after you've posted that picture and she's liked it. By following her directions, you got to do that. So then you have to finish it. And if you finish it within the month, you post your finish, you tag her the same way, and you're in the drawing as a participant at the beginning. And then if you finish it, you're in another drawing, and there's tons of prizes, and she gives away a whole lot. So my June project that I'm going to do, and this is Teresa Kogut. It's a Patreon design. And if you are not familiar with what Patreon is, You pay a little bit of a subscription fee, but you get a lot of perks from the designer. And I don't know who all has one, but if you like Teresa Kogut's designs and what she has to offer, I highly, highly, highly recommend it because it's really cool. So my June project, I don't want to do the whole thing because it's got to be done by June, but I thought if I did just down to the words, so I'm going to do the bird down to the words, right? And it's a lot like Lincoln's Eagle, her other pattern she did, but this is what I'm doing. And I thought, oh, well, that'll be no problem. I'll get it done. It'll make a little pillow. No, I'm doing it on 40 count. Here's the border. That's not little. So I might do a flat fold, or I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I got to get the stitching done. Part of the camp cross stitch is you have to have the stitching done. You don't have to have it fully finished. I think her July requirements is you have to stitch something that you're going to finish in something other than a frame. So like if you're going to do a strawberry or a biscornu or a rectangle, like those block parties that Hands On Design does, or any of those other, like a flat fold even. So, and then I think August, again, I think she's going to do a floss, a fabric, or something that you've never done before. So if you haven't joined in, join in. Go follow Sherry, the Colorado Cross Stitcher. And if I remember right, I got a new computer so I can do this easily. I'm going to put all those down in the links below. So this is where I am in my cross stitch camp project. And here, this is the flannel floss friend out of this bag that went with the Steel City Stitchers bag. But here it is in action, because it sticks to flannel. And it's not like that felt that's ugly and then it gets all bumpy and yucky. It sticks. It's a flannel floss friend, ladies and gentlemen. So I just have it in here. If anyone wants those Steel City Stitchers ones that went to the retreat, you will get a flannel floss friend and the project bag with this. Let me know, okay? Holler at your girl. Now that I got a Juki and I'm good and I can get them right out. So anyway, I decided, and whoopsie, Sherry decided that she's gonna put some free patterns out there. And you know, when you're in Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, you work hard at summer camp and you earn badges. Well, guess what? She has made badges. And this is a pattern, but it's a free pattern. So Sherry, don't get mad at me for showing it. But you stitch up your little badge, right? I have the one for 2021, the one for winter, and the one for 22 is a little camper. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I thought I'm going to stitch this, but I got to have something to put it on. Okay, so I started stitching this on a 40 count, 28 count Monaco that I coffee tea dyed, right? And that's how big it was. I'm like, oh, no. It has to be smaller. So I started stitching it a little bit smaller, so my badge is going to be smaller. But now you got to have something to put it on, right? So I made a project bag for my camp cross stitch. And look at it. I have an old pair of jeans that belonged to one of my sons that was beyond repair, that I was using some of this to patch another pair of jeans that I could repair. It's got pink on the inside. And then this is the back. And this is the seam from the leg of the jean. Isn't this cool? So what I did is I'm going to make my little badges and I'm going to sew them on the project bag as I go. If you watch, I think Sherry shows her bag, but Jenny and Nancy from the Bougie Stitchers, hi girls, They're at their first ever StitchCon. They're at StitchCon A, and she just posted on Instagram them checking into the Hyatt. So they're so excited. So if they watch this, I doubt they're going to watch Flosstube this weekend because there'll be so much other stuff to do. But I was just giving them a shout out because they both have their Camp Cross Stitch bags with their badges on it. So hopefully next time I'm going to take this project to StitchCon as well, because I need to work on it, and I'm going to work on my little badges so I can get my badges sewn on while I'm there. So that is my Camp Cross Stitch project. So excited about that. So all of these patterns will go in this bag, and I got to shove them in all now before I get lost on this table that I know I won't clean off before I go to Cincinnati next week. Can't believe a week from today I will have all my stuff packed. So at the crack of dawn I can get up and drive to Anderson, Indiana and pick up my girl Crafty Kara, and then off we go. And we met a new friend. Her name is Stephanie. And Stephanie, I forget, it was Bernstein, but I forget your new married name, Howie or something like that. I can't remember. But we had a Zoom call because Stephanie is coming in, first time going to StitchCon, first time coming to retreat. She's very nervous, which a lot of you guys have expressed that. And so I just put it out there. Hey, anybody coming? We have enough room in our suite for a third because we got a pull-out bed and 2 beds. So come on, join us. And so being that this is her first time, we're like, come on. And so she's going to join us. We had a Zoom call. Got to know a little bit about her and her family and her dogs and her kids, and we just had a nice long chat. This weekend we, got together and just talked for a little while. So I'm really looking forward to going to StitchCon. That's my plans. The other project that I'm gonna take, I'll take my 2 WIPGOs, my Where There Are Bees, my One Nation, my June Cross Stitch Camp project. And then you got to have a StitchCon start, right? So last year I had a StitchCon start and I'm not done with it. And I'm going to take it again because I want to finish it. Here's all the colors that I have for it. And this is before I learned how to floss drop really cool. This is really messy. But I got floss drops, first time I ever used them, from my girl Kara. And she makes these with her Cricut. And the called for colors. But, and this is one of the first project bags I made. And it's already ripped at the side. So I knew that I was not going to sell this to anybody. So I kept this one. But this, I put my June cross stitch project in this. Last year on Saturday, it was June 19th. And for those of you who don't know, that is Juneteenth Day. Okay? That is an important date in our history. So Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Webb from Lindy Stitches, created this gorgeous pattern that I decided that I'm going to stitch in honor of Juneteenth Day. And so I started this on that day, June 19th, at StitchCon. Well, I'm not done, so I got to bring it and stitch on it, right? I did get a lot of progress in it because this was one of the first 2 and 19. No, 5. Yes, A Stitch for Sweet Freedom. This was my February WIPGO. So I did get a lot done. And that's where I am. So I'm taking this to StitchCon with me because Sunday is June 19th, Juneteenth Day. So I'm going to stitch on this on Sunday. Now, when I went down, I had the pattern, but I didn't have, I think I had the DMC. And I was missing a couple of the specialty flosses that I picked up at Keepsakes. But I didn't have fabric either. So I went to Keepsakes and I said, here's the pattern. I need a fabric. Help me out. And they did. And this is a 40 count I think it might be Seraphim. I don't know who the dyer is, but this fabric is called Diversity. Hello, I can't stitch it on anything else. So here we go. This is where I'm showing you the back of it. This is where I am. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to stitch some more of this on Sunday while the stitchy room is still open. I think it's still open until 3 o'clock on Sunday. So I'm going to get more stitchy done down there on A Stitch for Sweet Freedom. So I'm going to take that. Then obviously, friends, I'm taking this so that can get stitched as well. So that's like 5 or 6 projects. I think that's enough, right? Because we all know, well, I don't know if we all know. I'm going to tell you, if you go to a cross stitch retreat, you're not going to get a lot of stitching done. You're not. You're going to take a lot, but you're not going to. And plus, you need to start for that retreat. So in weekend B, I don't know if weekend A is going to get any of this, but excuse me while my light flickers. Weekend B, a lot of us have talked about stitching this pattern. It was part of a project pattern that they got a few years ago at Stitch Away. Stitch Away is another smaller retreat that's at some conference center at a state park somewhere north of Cincinnati in Ohio. And Sue Hillis was the featured designer, and she did a pattern called Your Favorite Needlework Shop. And it's a house which Keepsakes, the cross stitch store, if you've not been there, is in a house. And every room is a different like theme. One of the rooms is a threads, the other is all holiday, the other is like spring, and each room is a different, theme is how it's set up. So anyway, this is a bunch of us in weekend B are stitching this pattern. Also, at the Stitch Away, they were given a frame so you can stitch this. And then there are 12 other patterns that you stitched all in one to go underneath it. So a lot of us are going to stitch this all as one, right? Well, Sue Hillis happened to be in this chat room because she's a paid attendee. She's a designer. She's coming to StitchCon. So she was listening to all the chatter going back and forth about all of us stitching this. And she said, hey, when you're at StitchCon B, I'm going to have a surprise for you. And it might have something to do with the Stitchy bus. So at the retreat, there's a bus that goes in a loop from the convention center and the Hyatt, where the retreat is, to the La Quinta Hotel, which is where the after hours stitching is, which is the hotel that we stay at, me and Kara and the cool people. No, that's where the after hours is. So you can like take off your bra and put some pajama pants and slippers on and just kind of meander on down to the stitchy room, right? So the after hours is from the big stitchy room in the convention center locks at 10. This stitchy room is from like 11 to 2 or 3 in the morning. Some people are late night stitchers. Some people are morning stitchers. It's all good. So anyway, Sue Hillis was listening to us, joining in our conversation. So she's gonna do a little pattern, a special pattern for those of us who are stitching this. So she's gonna have a little goodie for us at StitchCon. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. So of course I had to have a project bag with me. This one will be coming home with me. Some of the other project bags that I take up there won't be coming home with me because, but this one is, because if you've ever been to Keepsakes, and I was going to save a bag to show you. I might have one down in here. If you go shop, oh, I do. Hold please. This is a bag from Keepsakes that if you shop there, your goodies are in this bag, right? Okay, so I have a stash of fabric, Plus I got my dear mother's stash of fabric. Plus I've gotten one of her friends, I got a bunch of fabric. And a lot of it is like the homespun type fabrics and just a bunch of stuff that I just have upstairs. Well, guess what? I found this fabric that is almost identical to the bag. So my STITCHCON start is in this project bag with the Keepsake's bag fabric fully lined. And Sue Hillis is a master of making patterns. Look at all those colors. Just subtle changes. So I have to make a little small project bag to put all this DMC in because there's so much of it. And I'm stitching mine. Last year at STITCHCON, Kara and I sat with Pam and Steph, hi, from Just Keep Stitching. And Pam was working on her keepsake house last year. And so she was stitching it on a beautiful blue fabric. So I thought, ooh, that's pretty. Let me think about that. So when I went down to my local needle workshop, Mo's Needle and Thread in Portland, Michigan, I found a 32 count Dwarf Ada by Picture This Plus. 32 count Dwarf Ada. What? It's beautiful. It looks like a blue sky with clouds in the sky. It's so beautiful. Can you just see this house with the blue sky? Won't that look so cool? That looks like a cloud. So anyway, that's what I'm going to stitch mine on. And I'm going to stitch the whole thing, so I'll have the other things below that. I'm so excited. You guys, it's going to be, excuse me, you stitchy friends, it's going to be so much fun. And I just can't wait to get there and get started stitching on this with all my stitchy friends who are also going to start it. And I'm going to put all that floss that's just kind of thrown in there at the moment. See all that floss down in there? There's also a hole punch because I'm going to use my floss drop cards to put all my floss colors on. And this is the card. So I'm going to put this down in there, put all my beautiful colors on it, put it on a ring. And believe it or not, I didn't put a ring hook up in this one. I forgot. So anyway, that is my STITCHCON start. And again, this is the Love Notes fabric. It's Love Notes by Corey Yoder, I believe, is the fabric line. And then, of course, this beautiful Keepsake fabric up here. So, of course, I'm going to make my girl Crafty Kara one. And now my girl Stephanie, she's going to get one. Katie is going to get one. So I'm going to make a bunch of them till I run out of this fabric. So it probably won't all have this fabric because I've only got a limited amount of this. But I cannot wait. So this project's going to go with me. So I think I have a stack. I have a lot. Okay, haul. It's been 2 months, guys. A lot of the stuff you've seen is part of my haul because I've, but really there hasn't been a whole lot. The only other thing, I still get the Floss Club from, I've been in it now since she started it way back at the beginning of the year. This is Happy Little Stitch Shop. She has Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works Floss Club, so I'm in that. If you're interested, I know Annabella's was starting a floss club as well. I don't know if she still has spots in hers, but go check out hers. The other thing that I got is in these cute little happy bags. This is a new floss club, and this is Garan Stitchery, Gary and Ronnie from the Sunshine Stitchers, and EJ Sheila is on a vacation. I think she's on another cruise during StitchCon. But they are going to be at Weekend B. So I can't wait to meet Gary and Ronnie and EJ. I can't wait. But anyway, this is their new Floss Club. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this too. Not a lot of designers use this. But I was thinking about throwing my hat in the designer ring too a little bit. So maybe I'll use this. But these are cottage garden threads. And this is the very first inaugural month of Garand Stitchery. And if you guys know Gary at all, you know that he loves green. So the colors are all green. This is cottage garden threads, and I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but I don't want to do it because it's so pretty. But you just undo this, how it's stitched together. One of the ends is loose. You take it out and you let it fall, and then you just hold it up here, and you take one of the strands of the skein and just give it a little tug, and it'll come right out. So you don't need to take it off of this, which means you don't need stitch card or floss drops. You don't need to bobbinate it. You don't, and it stays right on this. It's kind of cool. But there's so many cute colors. This is Ivy. This is called Pea Soup. This one is Thyme. That color looks more gray than it really is. It's a deeper, like, olivey green. It's really pretty. This one is called Sweet Gum. And if you go back and watch their Flosstube from last Saturday or Sunday, they talk about what sweet gum is. It's a tree that's in the southeastern North America and Central and South America. And they talk all about it because, you know, they like to be educated on some of the stuff they don't know what it is. So their viewers educate them. But this is called Sweet Gum. And last but not least, Oregano. Oregano. So this is the new, and I don't know how long I'll be in it. I don't know, you know, if the designers are going to start using this, but that was the first month, so I'm kind of excited to be part of that club for a little bit anyway. That's all about, I think that's about it. Unless you guys have any questions for me. Oh wait, this isn't a live. I can't answer live questions. I might do that sometime. Maybe instead of waiting 2 months and over 2 months to do my next video, maybe I will do a live. I know Chantel's been doing lives. Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, who I'm going to talk to you about in just a minute. Maybe she's been trying to do some lives. Maybe I'll do some lives just to get myself out there. But it's that time of the program, ladies and gentlemen. If you remember last time, which was over 2 months ago, you may not remember, I said I was going to do 2 giveaways, 2 project bags made with Lori Holt's cookbook fabric. And I drew those names. And speaking of Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, here's the project bag I made out of cookbook fabric. It's fully lined using Elizabeth Ann Stitch tutorial. It will have a hook inside, fully lined, quilted at the top, crosshatch quilted cookbook fabric. Okay? Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, you were the first one I drew. And Lisa, I can't remember your last name, but I'm going to insert that video here. Hey friends, I added the cookbook word, and that was the word for our giveaway. And when I went to YouTube comments and gathered them, they now have this new little thing that I have to add my little answer here. So there are 51 comments using the word cookbook, and I'm going to pick 2 winners. So let's pick some winners. Sweetwater Stitcher. And if you guys don't know her, you should follow her. Jessica's her name. She's from Florida. She said I would use Goo Gone. Be careful because I have little sticky stuff, so I'm going to try that. But congratulations, Jessica. I will get this to you as soon as possible. Okay, let's pick another winner because I was going to give away 2. Okay, we can't have her win twice. Lisa Sacchetti. Lisa Sacchetti, you are the 2nd winner. Thank you for sharing your time and projects. Great work. I love the cookbook fabric. So send me an email, Jessica and Lisa, send me an email to stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com, and I will get these cookbook project bags to you in the mail as soon as possible. Congratulations. So congratulations, Jessica and Lisa. Again, get your email to me at stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com, and I will get this out to you as soon as possible. Thank you for participating and commenting on my video, and I will get it to you as soon as I can. I know there's one more that I've got to get to somebody that for some reason, I can't find her email, so I'm going to be looking through there and getting that other project out. One of the winners was in one of them. She had purchased one. She also won last time, so I sent hers. So anyway, that was the 2 winners of the cookbook. So now we get to this month. Well, this video, not month. I got to give away some project bags because that's what I do, right? So the first one I'm going to give away is this one. And there's my label, Stitching with Grammy. And I'm out of these labels too. So some of the project bags that I bring with me to StitchCon may not have my logo on it. So, but anyway, this is the first one. If you want this project bag, use the word, what word should we use? Let's just say star, because there's lots of stars in here. So we'll say star if you're interested in this project bag. And that'll be the first one. The second one, guess what I'm going to give away? This one. And it's got a flannel floss friend in it as well. And this one, you're going to say love, because this is Love Notes by Corey Yoder. So this is a set. If you want this, use the word love. Love and star. And I promise it's not going to be that long. It's not going to be 2.5 months. Trust me. I want to get this out because I want to I want to get these prizes out to you, and I got to get stitching on bags for the Stitching with the Housewives Retreat Christmas in July down in Indiana in July. So I want to get these out to people. These are already made, so as soon as you email me your address, I can get them right in the mail. You don't have to wait for me to sew them. Okay? So there we go. All right. One more bag I want to show you. And remember, this was the this was the project that Elaine from Annabella's gifted me for helping her with Nashville Needlework Market. And she gifted this to me because I stood there and talked to Pam, the designer, about how she stitched it. So this is Widow Black's B&B. So it's beautiful Halloween. So it deserved a beautiful project bag. And I don't know if I had this done. I think I sewed this on my new Juki when I was practicing. But I made this beautiful project bag. And it's got, like, there's the double rickrack. It's purple and orange. Isn't that cool? And because I'm stitching this on 36 count Murky, and I'm going to use that new method like I do on my One Nation, where you do the cross with a single strand and you double cross the top. I'm going to do that on this as well. I'm so excited. So instead of a flannel floss friend for this one, because there are so many flosses, I made a cute little project bag, again with the angel. And this is the inside fabric, fully lined, just like the Elizabeth Ann can stitch instructions, only it's just smaller. And here are all my wonderful, beautiful flosses. I can't wait to get this started. I don't know when I'm going to start it because it's going to be a long time. It's going to take a while, but I want to do that. So who knows? But I just wanted to share with you the project bag that I made for that. And that will be started very soon, sometime. I'm going to have some big whips going. And I think that's also why I wanted to do some of those little smalls and get them done. So I can just, you know, get an accomplishment, get a few things done, you know, because I want to start all these big things. Another big thing I'm starting, and I think I showed you this last time, but I finally got all the DMCs and I got the fabric and I got everything ready to go on this. This is all, not all DMC, but pretty much DMC. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors that are, looks like these are all Gentle Arts. 5 colors of that, but a boatload of DMC. So I got to make a cute little project bag and little notions bag for this as well. But I'm stitching this on a 40 count colonial parchment, fabrics by Stephanie, and it just has the modeling and it looks like an old piece of paper. So what do you think I'm stitching on this? This is the one I saw, also talked to the designer who stitched her own model as well while I was at Nashville. And it is the one and only Lella Studio. A lot of people are stitching this. So I got to stitch it. I think this is going to be my 4th of July start. So excited. So I got a Memorial Day start that's patriotic. And I'm going to have a 4th of July start that's patriotic. And a whole bunch of little patriotics in between. So I'm pretty excited. I finally got all that kitted up. I think I have all the DMCs now. And I'm ready to go on that. So as soon as it gets a cute little project bag, then it can be started on the 4th of July. So I think that's all I have, Stitchy friends. Again, I'm not going to be so long between. I promise you, we're at an hour and 42 minutes, so I'm going to shut up. I'm going to stop this. Again, like, subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing. Hit the notification button. If you're coming to StitchCon Weekend B, please come and say hi to me. I will have a whole bunch of these to give away. There'll be charms on it. They'll be in a little bag. It'll have my little card in it, little stickers. Kara's got some really cute things she's going to be giving away. I just want to meet you guys. Don't be, afraid to come up and say hi. I'll remember your face. I may not remember your name, but please come and say hi. I'm a very approachable person. I love meeting everybody. A lot of us floss tubers, because we see each other in floss tubes and we talk to each other a little bit. That's what STITCHCON is for. It's for floss tubers and viewers to come together and all sit at the same table. In this case, there's going to be 300 chairs around all these tables. So don't think that if you see a bunch of floss tubers sitting together, that it's just a bunch of floss tubers getting together. No, we want to talk to you guys. We want to know. I want you to talk to me and tell me, what else you want me to put on my floss tube? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to show you? Do you want me to do some tutorials? What do you want me to show you? I got another little cute little thing. This is part of my haul. You've seen it before if you watch Pam and stuff of Just Keep Stitching. I think Brenda has one. Brenda and Laura has a similar one. But I got, and it's stuck in here. I can't get it out. I got an HP sprocket. You guys, this is so cute. It prints out these little teeny tiny, that's the Halloween pattern I just showed you. I took a picture with my cell phone and I sent it via Bluetooth to this little tiny printer, and it printed out this little 2x3 sticker that you can stick. So I'm going to be taking pictures. I just went to Amazon and ordered a whole bunch of these. And what I want to use this for is that slam book that I told you about, the scrapbook that I'm going to be keeping. That's not really a scrapbook that we knew back in the day where you put it in the, no, it's like a slam book. So little mementos of, stitchy friends I take a selfie with or whatever I'm going to put inside and keep pages and keep memorabilia, just keep a whole bunch of stuff that is going to go as part of my memories in this slam book. And now I got this cute little thing. Eventually, what I also want to do is print out my MAYNIA. So each day, whatever my MAYNIA pattern is, I want to print out a little picture and have it on a chart. And when I'm done that day, that project's done, guess what? We'll slap a new sticker over top of it because it'll be a different project that year. So that's kind of why I got this, and we'll see how much fun I can have with it at STITCHCON. So if you're coming to STITCHCON, say hi so we can do a selfie and I can print out a picture of you. So that's something else. I don't think I have anything else. I'm just babbling on right now, so I'm going to end this. If you have a chance, go meet and stitch. Go stitch with your friends. Find a group of friends. Check out our Sisterhood of the Traveling Stitcher Facebook page. Kara and I, when I pick her up, we're going to do a quick little floss tube that we're going to post on that and talk about us traveling stitchers. And we're going to probably film from our hotel suite at the La Quinta in Cincinnati. And we're going to update you on all the shenanigans that we're having and the good time that we're having at STITCHCON. So even if you can't afford a big, huge retreat, get a group of friends together. Maybe get a couple stitchy friends, a couple people you talk to on Instagram that live, you don't live together in the same city, but maybe there's a city in between, and you guys can all meet at the city in between or wherever there's an LNS. Kara and I, halfway between us is Stitch and Frame in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So we've met there, and we had Janet Jabber. Hi, Janet. We've had her meet us there once. So do something like that. If you can't afford to go to a big retreat, or with gas prices and airfare and all that, maybe in your local area, get a group together, and maybe your local needleworks shop will add a group, and if they have room in their shop for you guys to go and stitch, or a local restaurant in Michigan. There's a lot of groups that get together and they meet at various Panera Breads around the state. I used to do the ones on Saturday at the Lansing Mall, and I haven't done it in a long time. But don't wait for me to plan it. There's another group of you girls and guys that want to stitch. Just put it out there. Put it out there. Get involved with social media and just ask. There are stitchers around you. So until next time, friends, go meet and stitch. And stay tuned, and I will give you an update from STITCHCON Weekend B. So if you go, if you see me, say hi, all right? Thank you guys for your patience with me and waiting for me to get back. Again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will talk to you soon. Go meet and stitch. Bye.